Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old.
He was known to be at Diddy's white parties. And when Aaron Carter told us about his brother, he said because he outed all of this information, people were coming after him and trying to unalive him.
Help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage saying I wanted to hang myself.
He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you I am not vital. And no one said anything.
Even the defense, the entertainment industry, is in shock following the alleged tapes featuring the late Aaron Carter and music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, which sparked a flurry of media speculation in a case that sounds like it was lifted from a Hollywood thriller. New evidence seems to have sent shockwaves through the legal and music industries, culminating in a dramatic courtroom scene where Diddy's own lawyer abruptly left mid-hearing. This could be so devastating that even the counsel for one of hip-hop's biggest names would feel forced to leave.
One of the lawyers representing Sean Diddy Combs in his sex trafficking case is quitting. Anthony Rico filed notice in Manhattan federal court Thursday, writing, quote, "Under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel." Rico, one of 6 attorneys for the music mogul, did not offer any other details. Combs has pleaded not guilty to the charges, saying he did nothing wrong. His trial is set to begin in May.
Some of these jurors had a profound reaction to it, and I think that's going to be a hurdle that the defense is going to have to figure out how to jump.
So, you know, it's funny because I think the defense has kind of put something else out about that videotape, that it was tampered with, either slowed down or made faster. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I don't think that it's going to amount to anything, because with all of those allegations, the prosecution came out and said, look, we have an original untampered copy. And everybody I've talked to on both sides, they think it's going to get admitted into evidence, even the defense.
The tapes, which reportedly contain both audio and video, allegedly reveal controversial details that have the potential to upend decades of public perception. However, even though the authenticity of the recordings is still unknown, rumors about a series of damning recordings that hint at hidden truths from the days when Aaron Carter, long dismissed by some as a troubled teen pop star, claimed to have evidence that could dismantle the carefully crafted image of industry titan Diddy, have been circulating for weeks.
Now, let me spill some serious, scalding hot tea about these bombshell tapes that just leaked. They're allegedly connecting Aaron Carter and Diddy to Hollywood's underworld, and honey, the internet is absolutely exploding with this news. These recordings reveal something utterly horrifying, an organized ring targeting young entertainers. And it gets worse. They're saying Diddy's lawyer might have been involved in all of this too. I mean, can you even imagine the scope of this conspiracy? The content of these tapes will absolutely make your jaw drop. They're talking about these secret parties, and I mean really secret, where innocent stars were exploited under the guise of networking and mentorship. And guess whose name keeps coming up? Our sweet Aaron.
Aaron Carter tried to tell us about Diddy. Right before Aaron Carter passed away, he said that his brother was a Lisa Schumann, who sued Nick Carter for SA, was in a girl group called Dream, and they were owned by Diddy. In her lawsuit, she alleges that Nick Carter first hit on her when she was 16 years old on a music video shoot with Diddy. And baby, her accusations against Nick Carter sound super similar to Diddy's. Around the same time that this woman is claiming these allegations against Nick Carter, he was known to be at Diddy's white parties. And when Aaron Carter told us about his brother, he said because he outed all of this information, people were coming after him and trying to unalive him.
Silence breaker for my brother, who is a and they're after my life. My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. They owe me money, and they're trying to off. And I'm begging you and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage saying I wanted to hang.
I find this all super crazy because at the same time, Aaron Carter was also saying that Sony was involved in this plot to unalive him. And during this time, the Backstreet Boys had came back and they were still signed under.
Rico said in his filing, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, summarizing the stolen material and describing his reaction as a mix of shock and fury that culminated in an explosive moment when he walked out of the courtroom. Is this sudden departure a sincere acknowledgement of the case's combustible nature and the legal battle, or might it be a premeditated effort to buy time?
So to my understanding, Courtney was really good friends with Tupac. I'm always trying to explain this. So in New York, we all know the East Coast, West Coast beef, right? Sure. We all have some knowledge of it. It's only cursory. So you have to imagine on the East Coast, there was two factions. There was the Bad Boy faction, and then there was Death Row East. So Death Row was starting to encroach upon Diddy's territory in New York. And there are a lot of people in New York who didn't like Diddy, who didn't want to rock with the Bad Boy East Coast, side of the East Coast, West Coast beef. So there were a bunch of people in New York, a faction, who were West Coast East Coasters, if you will. And Courtney was one of those people. So to my understanding, Courtney knew Kim through Tupac and Courtney's a industry insider, A&R, or a record exec who brought different people to labels to help them get into the music industry. So he knew producers, managers, all these people in the music industry. And one day he was talking to a friend who was with Kim, and Kim was like, who are you talking to? And he said, I'm talking to Courtney B. And she said, oh, let me talk to him, because they knew each other through Tupac, and said to Courtney, I got something, because for you, I know you'll know what to do with it. And that's the next day is when Courtney.
A reminder of Diddy's turbulent history, a history tainted by claims that ranged from financial conflicts with artists to charges of throwing notorious freak-off parties, where the distinction between exploitation and power influence became permanently hazy over time. Diddy has been praised for his innovative contributions to hip-hop and criticized for actions that suggest there are darker undertones beneath the glitz and glamour. This most recent controversy not only reignites discussions about his legacy, but also compels us to address the larger question of accountability in a field that is notorious for shielding its most powerful individuals, Aaron Carter pleaded.
Legal battle surrounding Sean Diddy Combs took an unexpected turn when his attorney, Anthony Rico, abruptly withdrew from the case, citing circumstances that made it impossible for him to continue representing the music mogul. Rico, who has built a formidable career as a defense lawyer, filed a motion in court declaring that under no circumstances could he proceed as part of Combs' legal team. His departure raises numerous questions, especially since he had been one of the 6 attorneys slated to defend Combs in the high-profile case set to go to trial in May. Anthony Rico's resignation is particularly notable due to his extensive experience in handling complex cases. The world of hacking, secrecy, and power often collide in unexpected ways, and when a member of the hacking collective Anonymous comes forward with information, people pay attention. Recently, an alleged Anonymous member made a startling claim regarding Diddy's legal troubles and the abrupt departure of his attorney, Anthony Rico. According to this source, the sudden resignation was not simply a strategic legal move, but rather a calculated decision to distance himself from an impending scandal that could implicate some of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. The hacker, who claims to have ties within the entertainment industry, stated that a highly sensitive list is on the verge of being released. This document, which allegedly contains the names of numerous influential individuals, is expected to shake the foundations of Hollywood and beyond.
How significant is it that one of his defense attorneys, high profile, Anthony Rico, has quit and made it pretty clear, I think, in the wording of his resignation from the team and the case, that he obviously, I imagine, has issues with Diddy himself?
Well, in full disclosure, I've represented Sean off and on for many years, and my daughter is still the lead lawyer for Diddy. So from a father's perspective, I don't think it makes one whit of difference, frankly. Diddy knows what he's doing. I don't think that Tony was a lead lawyer in the case. Mark Agnifilo is the lead lawyer who's very accomplished. I understand that anything Diddy related tends to get a lot of clicks, but this, to me, is no more than just a speed bump.
So we shouldn't be reading into it anything more sinister, because it does seem unusual in such a high-profile case for one of the team to publicly resign like this.
You're right. I don't think that, in fact, I would venture to say that there's nothing to be read into it other than what often happens with these cases. You know, I was thinking back many years ago to Michael Jackson after I saw this, and there were lawyer changes and shuffling of the deck. It happens often in high-profile cases. I mean, there's always going to be some lawyers coming and going, inevitably. I've seen it in every single case I've ever handled. I will tell you that I don't think it means much of anything at all in this case. Sean is, by all accounts, ready, willing, and able to go on May 5th, and I expect that you and I will be back talking about it.
What is your overview of where he is in terms of criminal liability here, in terms of what may happen to him and the weight of the case? Because we know that when the feds come for somebody, they normally have a very good success rate.
Well, that's absolutely true. I tell clients when they come into my office, you know, the federal conviction rate is in the high 90s. So understand there aren't that many lawyers walking around who've heard the words not guilty in a federal courtroom. So I've been fortunate to have that, as has my daughter and both Mark Agnifilo. I will tell you, this is my take on this case. This case has been the media has so run with this idea that we have A-list celebrities, that we've got sex tapes. The tapes are about to drop. The sex tapes are involved, whether it's, and I don't even want to kind of push forward the kind of crazy narrative.
He repeatedly stated, "If anything happens to me, I promise you I am not vital," in an attempt to keep him alive with the help of a private security team. And nobody said anything. Take a look at Aaron Carter's most recent interview, which was conducted 2 weeks prior to his passing. "How are you doing?" "I'm doing ok, buddy. Yes, remaining strong." It's been 8 months of a lot of upheaval and back and forth. But right now, I believe I have everything under control. You know, I'm taking care of all I need to do, and you.
Aaron Carter begged for help in front of the world. He begged for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, "If anything happens to me, I promise you I am not vital." And no one said anything.
Might support persistent allegations of wrongdoing and manipulation that have followed him around for years. According to some insiders, these recordings may reveal not only dubious conduct at his...
Aaron Carter, I want to verify that this is actually my GoFundMe page. There's been a lot of misdirection that I've had to do in order to protect myself from being the silence breaker for my brother, who is a rapist. And now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life. And they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me, and Brad Paisley, who sued Sony Records for $10 million. They owe me money, and they're trying to kill me off. And I'm begging you, and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can, so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. My realtor won't sell my house. They're all involved in this, and they're trying to keep me there. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage, saying I wanted to hang myself. So please trust what I'm saying.
From the SA to the manipulation to the drugging of drinks, this all sounds super similar to Diddy's multiple lawsuits. So we have Aaron Carter, who outed his brother for being this type of person, and in the same exact breath said that people were trying to take him out because of this. And then we have this woman file this lawsuit who claims all of this stuff, and she even names Diddy and Nick Carter trying to hit on her when she was only 16 years old, on a video shoot with Diddy and saying that the managers of her and her girl group, who she was signed to Diddy, were telling her that they wanted her to date Nick Carter at 16 when he was 21. All I can think about is what Kanye told us a couple months ago, that they offed Aaron Carter, and he was saying that it was Harley Pasternak, and he even named Jay-Z, and I didn't understand that. But now we know Jay-Z and Diddy are besties. I mean, they're road dogs. So all of this makes even more sense now. Now we have like an actual connection. I mean, this lawsuit literally talks about this woman being signed to Diddy, and that's when she first met Nick Carter at 16, and he was trying to hit on her when he was over age. Like, and just how similar these lawsuits are has my mind blown.
In the midst of these startling disclosures about who actually controls hip-hop's shadowy underbelly, if you're eager to follow every twist and turn of this intense drama, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. The truth is out there, and it won't be long until everything falls apart. Keep an eye on what's about to happen. You won't want to miss it.